It's showtime at Homestead, Miami.
Andre Baranowskis at the line, steals it in the Indy 250.
Logan to Baxter's in trouble, there they go. Gordon's on the wall, jumps right around.
Side by side on the final lap, coming to the checkered flag.
Steve Morgan, the last lap pass, and the victory in Las Vegas.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 10 in season number 9 of the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here, the wildest place of them all, the Talladega Super Speedway for the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500. This is the 17th race we have ever had at Talladega. However, it is the only race at Talladega we're going to have this season, so these guys are probably just going to go harder for the race win, because winning at Talladega is a pretty special thing regardless of where it is. I'm alongside Trey Wright and Justin Zidell for the call. And Justin, your driver Nicholas Sanbadia won this race here at Talladega last fall. What is the strategy to get up front and win here at Talladega?
I believe it's just avoid the wrecks. If there's a big wreck, try to avoid it, and you'll still be in this race no matter what happens, and make the move at the right time, because if you don't, then you're not going to win.
Yeah, we saw in the Hers Dash Series race on Thursday, Dan Park was right behind Zach Winkle coming to the checkered flag, but he didn't make the move through the tri-oval, and Zach Winkle went on to win the race. So if you're coming off of turn 4 heading into the tri-oval and you're right behind somebody, just dart down to the left, and you're going to have a very good chance at winning the race. And Trey, you called the race with Nicholas Sanbadia winning last year. Veterans have done pretty well at Talladega the past couple of years in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Do you think we're going to see another veteran win here today?
Well, Napa, it's an absolute mixed bag of who could win at the Talladega Super Speedway. We've seen rookies win here. We've seen veterans win here. So I think it's time for the rookies to stand up and win. Not entirely sure who's a rookie in the field at this moment, but I think one of the rookies in the field, they're definitely going to win. I mean, we have Shane Lake, rookie driver that won at Atlanta a handful of weeks ago, so I think he's going to do pretty well on that 15 car. But you never know. At a track like this, anybody in any starting position can win at the Talladega Super Speedway.
Yeah, we got 42 drivers all with a practical equal shot at winning this race here today. And you mentioned those rookies. They've been doing pretty good. The past couple of races, though, have not been run by rookies. Wyatt Quayle, Andrew Miller, a couple of veterans winning the past 2 races. And it is a veteran leading in the points, Alexander Rowe. 292 points towards the championship for the Daytona 500 champion. Bradley Ream, rookie driver, 20 points behind. Then we got a veteran in Reagan Whitlock, 30 points behind. His teammate, Ryan Durrani, 39 points behind. And then you mentioned Shane Lake, starting on the pole, Atlanta winner, 42 points behind, in the 5th position in the championship standings. Gonna get these guys to roll off here from Talladega. Shane Lake, Sebastian Kukulon, the 2 fastest guys in qualifying yesterday. And we'll have to see if one of those guys can pull off the win, but odds are, just the odds, it's pretty slim for those guys. Probably a 1 in 42 shot for every single guy in the field. Andrew Miller, our last winner here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, got that win at Rockingham's, already won twice this season for Zidell Motorsports. Still going to make it 3 for the number 24 team. Jesse Turner, Las Vegas winner from earlier this season, starting in the 4th position. Diego Yepez, who almost got the victory at Rockingham, got a great run there in North Carolina. He's alongside here, Jalurp and Alonso in row number 3. Sam and Oskim, Texas winner, alongside Dale Lightning in row number 4. And our defending Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion, Nathan Baird, to the inside of Mark Davidson in row number 5. Gonna double check, make sure everyone's rolling off all right, and they are. Gonna give you guys an opportunity to make some picks here for this race. Trey, who do you think's gonna be in victory lane here in the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500?
Once again, Napa, I'm going to pull Mike Joy, and I'm going to say the field. It's almost impossible to say who's going to win here at Talladega. I'm just going to say anybody in the field. Next thing you know, the pace car is probably going to win the race.
What about you, Justin? Who do you think is going to be in victory lane at the end of the day?
You mentioned the veterans have won here. They have the best shot, and I'm going to go with Matt Dalio for this one.
Dalio's been having a pretty decent season so far. Of course, he won the Meliella Smooth Fest, which was at a super speedway. And we'll check in to see where Delio starts here in the field. On the outside lane about midway through the field there, right behind the last guy who won here at Talladega, Nicholas Samedillo. So it's a pretty good place to be. Good to be behind a veteran at a place like this. Well, we're ready to get this one started. Pace car's going to pull off. 38 laps of action, no pit stops. We will not have to worry about fuel in today's event. They're going to be good to go the whole way through. But they do need to worry about the big one, and lap traffic. It's going to be a wild one out there, as it always is from the Talladega Superspeedway. Shane Lake, Sebastian Cucalon. The front row is ready to take the green flag, and they will do so here. 38 laps of action. We're green flag racing at Talladega. Down the backstretch they go. Shane Lake, a pretty good jump on the field. Of course, if you lead a lap, you get a bonus point towards the championship, and every point counts if you want to make the chase. And this is the halfway point of the regular season, so you might want to start thinking about gaining those points if you're outside the top 10. But Shane Lake, a good jump there on the start. He will, in fact, lead lap number 1 and gain a bonus point towards the championship. And almost and already 4 wide here at Talladega. Cucalon on the outside. They got to be careful, and thankfully, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, and 4 wide is usually a dangerous situation. You know, with Talladega, it's a wider track, so it's not as hazardous as it is like a Daytona, but still a big factor, and just don't go 4 wide. If you go 5 wide, that's pretty much the big one already happening.
We've seen 5 wide here in the past. Semat Oskin gonna go for second place. He's got drafting help from Gatlin Downey in the 22. Shane Lake still leads the cars as they're nearly going 4 wide. They're 3 abreast through most of the field.
Oh, and an issue. Ashlyn Boyd, unchartered driver for Hamlin Racing Enterprises. Looks like that could be a tire going down, and that split the pack up there. Tough break for Ashlyn Boyd. But he'll go to the back of the field and possibly lose a lap if this thing stays green. And it's interesting to see Shane Lake lead right now, but we did see in yesterday's Turkey Hill Series race when Jacob Hammond came to the restart, he led about 5 laps after the restart, so it is possible for a guy to stay up front, and I think with the range and the ratings, it's playing a little bit differently than it has in the past, so always important to realize all the different aspects that might affect the racing. Nathan Faden, 4 wide on the outside. Stover and Davidson, they've got to be careful, but they will. At least for now, but I don't know if they're going to get out of the 4 wide. They will. Good job out of those guys. But Faden continues to fall back, and there's really nowhere for him to go, but Miller is going to let him stay ahead of him. You see Ashlyn Boyd back in there, coming back onto the racetrack. And he's gone a lap down in the number 21, but that split the pack up. We got these guys back in here who have lost the draft. They're going to need a caution if they're going to have a shot at coming back up to the race lead.
Thankfully, we're at Talladega, and a caution is almost guaranteed. And meanwhile, Gatlin Downey, she's gonna try and go to the inside. She's on the quarter panel. That 15. Sorry.
Yeah, I made that mistake before. We all do it. Gatlin Downey.
Oh, caution.
Oh, caution is out. Oh, man. Turner and Lightning. And Turner is destroyed in the 77. That's going to end his day. And Faden, yeah, this could have had to do with Faden. He's got a lot of damage in the 12 machine as well. But the first caution, and Downey going to take the race lead away and win the race back to the line. The caution periods are only 2 laps now here at Talladega, which is great. We know races in the past, we have had very long caution periods, and that's taken a lot of the race out. Not going to be the case here today. We'll be back to racing on lap number 7 of 38, but that will not include Jesse Turner. Looks like his day is going to end right there. Dale Lightning in the 38 also torn up, and then we see the damage from Nathan Faden. It looked like it was a small accident, and we had a small accident yesterday, and that was it. But wasn't small to Jesse Turner. He's out of the race in the number 77 after this one. They're waiting for the pace car to catch back up. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the day in the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500 from Talladega. This is a very interesting accident. Pseudo 4 wide down the backstretch. Miller got into Dale Lightning, who then got into Nathan Faden. And Lightning trying to save it, but Faden couldn't do it either. got into Turner, and whammo, hard in the outside wall when Jesse Turner, a massive hit for the Season 2 champion. And no doubt that is going to knock him out for the rest of the race. If this was real life, that would have knocked him out. But thankfully, as Trey mentioned while we were away, it is just a video game. But a tough break for Jesse Turner there in the 77. He's not going to win here today at Talladega.
Just a small little incident between a few cars. Dale Lightning gets up and fade and can't save it, and Jesse Turner takes a hellacious shot into that concrete wall. Like Napa said before, it's just a video game, thank God. But that was a very, very big hit for Jesse Turner.
Let's go on board the number 77 and just feel the impact he had on that outside wall. On board, the Otter Island Motorsports driver of Jesse Turner, and wham! Right into the outside wall he went. Nothing Turner could have done as Lightning and Faden came down. It was Faden who clipped him, and unfortunately that's going to end the day for Turner. The good thing is he will not be out on the racetrack, slowing everybody down. But either way, Gatlin Downey won the race back to the line. Let's see what he does on the restart here in the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500 from Talladega. Back here at the Talladega Super Speedway, going to restart on lap 7 of 38. I think a lot of you guys are going to like this new rule that we have for the Super Speedways. We only have 2-lap cautions, especially here at Talladega, because, like I mentioned, it used to take 5 laps for a caution. Not anymore. And these guys will be able to race a little bit more, but that could lead to more wrecks. Just never know. Gatlin Downey leads the field in the number 22, followed by Shane Lake in the 15. John Arnn, we haven't seen much of John Arnn yet this season. All-time winningest driver on Napa Fan. We'll have to see what he can do in this one. Sam Oskin, Diego Yepez, about Brett Sierra. Thought that was Bobo Jones for a second. That's actually Brett Sierra with Daniel McMillan, Nathan Stapleton, last Talladega winner Nicholas Amadio, and Silas Orta still going for his first career Napa Fan win. The top 10. Take a look and see who's out of the race, and I do believe we got 2 of them. Or actually, it is just 1. It is just Jesse Turner. Ashland Boyd a lap down as he had a tire issue during that green flag run, but everybody else is still on the lead lap, and they're led by Gatlin Downey for the first restart of the day, and the problem, that's Brad Stover. Not entirely sure if he was already on the pit lane or not.
Looked like he was.
And I don't believe he was, so with that, a problem on the 99, and he could have just had a tire go down. That would be the second one of the day.
Tire issues are not uncommon at the Talladega Super Speedway, dating back to the very first race. And he could have just missed a shift, so he's going to be on the apron.
I believe he is coming down the pit lane here. He is really slow. Either way, back to the race lead, and they let Downey out to dry. He's going to fall way back as Shane Lake takes the lead back away from the 22. Shane Lake's been pretty good in this race. He's been a dominant factor so far here at Talladega, and he's going to lead lap number 7.
He's been doing a really great job out front. He's been able to stay out front for a few laps, keep the pack behind. But we saw that, Gatlin Downey had a really great run as well, so it's not over yet. We'll see what Sam Oskin can do if he's going to make a move or not.
McMillan coming to the inside of Brett Sierra here, and we saw in yesterday's race, after the first restart, the only restart of the day, Jacob Hammond stayed out front, and Seth Cole is a guy who was behind him for quite a while, and Cole just stayed behind him. That might be what Oskin is doing here, just being patient, hoping to stay right behind him. It's still a long race, though. 30 laps to go, coming to this lap right here, so a long time left in this race, and Brett Sierra's going to make a move to the inside for second. That's going to keep Shane Lake out front in the number 15, as looks like Brad Stover's going to come off the pit lane. And he's now going to go a lap down in the 99.
Yeah, so a couple of tire issues for these guys early on. Definitely kind of some phantom force that some people say Talladega is built upon, as these cars are starting to wad up back into a pack. As you see the 3-car of Silas Orta. Orta's going to try and get to the inside of Samadia. Samadia's going to shut the door. Shane Lake continues to be the Pied Piper at Talladega.
Yeah, this is a very good job out of Shane Lake in the 15, but like I mentioned, he won the Turkey Hill Truck Series race here back in December, so he knows how to get it done at this place. And Shane Lake is older than pretty much everybody else in the field, so he's got experience on a lot of things, and he continues to lead the field here at Talladega. Brett Sierra now in second. You got Silas Orta, Patrick Smith, and here comes Trey Bartow. Bartow was the points leader, I believe, heading into Atlanta. He comes into this race 36th in the points. It has been a dismal season the past month for Trey Bartow, but he wants to rebound with a Talladega victory in his final season.
And you see Silas Orta, he's really trying to make some moves. He wants to get up front, take this lead away from Shane Lake. Didn't have a push right there, but we'll see what he can do later on.
Bartow, right behind the number 3 of Silas Orta. They're going to try to get some on the work there in the inside lane. Brett Sierra still behind Shane Lake. And this is impressive out of number 15 Velocitar Racing driver, but, I mean, it's far from over. This is not a guaranteed win for Shane Lake. I mean, we did see Downey make a move on him when that caution initially came out, so it's definitely possible, and it might happen here. Sierra's got to run, and he's going to have help from Orta and Bartow. Actually, Bartow's going to stay on the outside here. Patrick Smith, Nathan Stapleton, Matt Dalio on the inside. Here comes Fitzy. Haven't seen much of Fitzy yet, but he's actually had a pretty decent season here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Pretty good in the points. Just hasn't contended for the wins that much. Had a good starting position in Rockingham last week, but fell back in that race. He wants a little bit of redemption from that, and he's on the inside lane right now. Henderson Alonso on that inside lane as Brett Sierra, one of the dual winners from back in February, going to lead that lap. Got Patrick Smith on the inside here. Going to go ahead and take the lead away from Brett Sierra, Nathan Stapleton, Matt Dalio. Justin's picked to win this race. Interestingly enough, Dalio, as far as I know, has never won here before at Talladega, so we'll have to see if he can get it done. He's going to go 3 wide. I don't think he's going to be able to get to the inside of Patrick Smith, though, as Smith will clear the field. He's going to stay in the middle lane, and that's going to open the door for Dalio to take the lead away from the number 30.
A race, and it's starting to get back together. They're really starting to change positions, swapping positions, taking the lead. Really getting some good racing right now.
Here comes Fitzy to the inside at the stripe. I think it was Smith. Have to see. Oh, we got something going on back in there. I think that's Kukalon. And is this another tire issue? That's Brad Stover's teammate, and he's got a problem in that number 13 machine. The green flag is still out, so he had an issue. It was not because of contact, but another issue on the Titan Fury Motorsports driver. The only guy out there for Titan Fury who hasn't had a problem yet. Actually, 2 of them, because Zach Rogers in the 71 hot seat car for those guys, but Trey Bartow as well. I'm wondering if Bart's a little bit worried. He might have a tire possibly go wrong on him, because it seems to be a common theme on that Titan Fury Motorsports organization.
It's definitely a drastic chain of events, and if Bartow, if he loses a tire, especially as he's in the middle of this pack, that's going to almost certainly be the big one. So we could be seeing a ticking time bomb at the center of your screen here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Alonso continues to lead, but here comes Alexander Rowe. We got lap traffic already. Alonso's teammate, Dale Lightning, in the 38.
This is going to be interesting. The first time we've seen lap traffic all day. Ace Garcia, Keegan Thompson, Alonso. Hey, you know what? He's going to find a way around him, but you know who else is? Alexander Rowe. You can't keep this guy outside the top 5 no matter how hard you try. He's always going to find his way up there. And there he is, our points leader in second. This has been Alexander Rowe's season, a renaissance for this man. Had a tough season number 7, didn't win a race there. Had a tough season last season, but rebounded very nicely at the end and actually finished 8th in the points. And now, 2 wins already, including a Daytona 500, and he's the points leader in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. But that really split the pack up, and a lot of guys still stuck behind number 5, or should I say number 38 of Dale Lightning here. And a lot of these guys are going to want a caution to come out if they want to regain the lead draft. But there's going to be more lap cars. You got Nathan Faden entering the tri-oval now as Alonso's in between 3 and 4. But Shane Lake, he's not up front anymore. He got stuck behind all those guys, and you see him quite a ways back now from the race lead, even though he dominated the early part of this race.
A tough break time. Alonso did a really great job. When he saw the lap car coming up, he went straight to the outside and got right around him. That was a really smart racing move by Alonso.
I completely agree.
Another guy who's not in the All-Star race yet, so a win right here would mean quite a bit for him, getting into that special event in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, to win. We got some NR 2003 or Napa fan veterans up here. We got Alonso, Fitzy, Alexander Rowe, Mark Davidson. We got Fisher G. He was a rookie last year, but
Nikolai Sykes in the 6 is a rookie.
Every single
also a
race
dual winner. And with that dual win, that was his first career Napa fan win. He's pretty good on these super speedways, so no surprise to see him running up front right now. McMillan looking the clear here. Sam Medeiros also up here. LJ Semedo, a guy who's kind of been the second banana to Alexander Rowe over at North State, but he's had a pretty good season as well. in the number 66 machine, and North State Racing definitely have a very strong program all around. Cemento looking to close back in. These guys going single file, that really helps them out going to the front here, and looks like we're going to have another big pack here very soon, but things are a lot more spread out than what we're used to here at Talladega. The cars seem to be farther apart, and that makes for some interesting racing here as Alonso continues to lead here at Talladega.
And like we said before, the veterans, we said they were the favorites to win this race, and we got a lot of them up front right now. They're doing a really great job like they usually do when they come to this place. They really know how to get around there.
They're coming up on Nathan Faden. Alonso's already prepared, but that might not have been the move he wanted to make. Alex in a row. Gonna split him right there. McMillan, oh my! And Faden blocking 2 lanes. McMillan and Davidson both getting held up by the 12, and McMillan is not going to be happy with that number 12. Oh my goodness, he did it again!
No. Oh no.
Down on Fitzwater now.
Oh, no.
And part of me is wondering though, if he has a fast enough race car to drive in this pack and he wants to join the pack so he can have a shot at getting his lap back, but clearly, I would not be happy if I was any of those guys. Fitzwater, McMillan, and Davidson, they all got held up by him, and now they're starting to fall back. I don't think they're falling back too much, though. I think they picked him up. But you see McMillan and Davidson, they have fallen to the back of this field. And they had good positions, but now they're gone. Fitzwater's going to get a run to the inside here, but they are starting to close back in on the race leaders, so it did not affect them too much. Still, we're only halfway through this race, so plenty of time for them to get back to the front here at Talladega.
Definitely interesting. A little bit controversial for Nathan Faden. I think he's going to be hearing an earful from the guys in the garage on that kind of bold move, but he is fast enough. They are gaining cross flags this time by halfway through the Mountain Dew Kickstart 500. Herschel Arvin Alonso at the point.
Here comes Sam Adio, going to the inside. And he's got Alex in a row behind him. And you know, Alex in a row reminds me so much of Nicholas Samadio. Just in personality and just in driving style. I think these guys, they have very similar driving styles, and I think it's no surprise to see them working together right now. But Samadio won here last time. Alex in a row won the Daytona 500. They're our last 2 Super Speedway winners in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And they're both inside the top 5 right now. Here comes Fitzwater. Of course, no surprise to see him up front no matter where you go. But Alonso, he has done a great job so far in this race. Now we got a couple of guys. And here's the thing. These guys, they are going to have speed. Because they only had tire issues. And they're going to get caught up here. But they could rejoin this pack. I think Faden's a little slow, but these guys are not. And Alonso, we're going to have to see if he can close in on Kukulon and pick him up here. Sierra's going to get to second on Fitzwater as they try to get around Stover and Kukulon. That inside lane's going to poke a hole to the inside of those guys, and a lot of guys going to be able to get around them. But Kukulon actually able to join the draft right there.
Oh, nearly took the nose off of the 28. Alonso, he's been weaving and waving his way through the pack. And look, don't look now, back in the top, in the podium position, Shane Lake and Brett Sierra. Lake got shuffled back by that first lap car, but he's coming back on this. That's how affected the draft here at the Talladega Super Speedway.
And he's going to help Brett Sierra finally get around Alonso here.
And Brett Sierra's about to take this lead away, and he's got it completely done. There's Shane Lake, the man who dominated early on. He's back in contention, and he looks like he's going to take the lead away as well.
Good run for those guys on the inside lane. Got the 47 machine of Mitchell Henderson going for his second career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. Keegan Thompson here as well, and now Kukulon's in an interesting position. Because Kukulon is a lap down. Actually, he's 7 laps down. Never mind. He doesn't have anything to race for. I thought he was just 1 lap down and had a shot at possibly getting to the race lead. Meanwhile, we could end up with a yellow here. Henderson way up as Troxel and Whitlock get to the inside of Alonso, but thankfully they figure that out. Henderson really falling back there. He lost it on that outside lane.
That got extremely tight coming into the corner, but thankfully they worked it out. We remain green here at Talladega. Lake continues to lead, but here comes... Actually, no, that's Kukulon. He's 7 laps down.
Yeah, but he's still going to get to the inside of him. That's going to open the door for whoever's going to be next in line, and that's going to be Patrick Smith in the 30. And Patrick Smith, a great run for him. Anderson Racing, they've had some struggles opening up the season. They did get a win with Iquan Haslam at Homestead, but Patrick Smith won twice last year. Here he is, leading the field here at Talladega on lap 23 of 38. More lap traffic. This time it's Dale Lightning again Andrew Miller and Tristan Allen. Those guys apparently lost the draft. Then we got these guys who are in a separate pack compared to the leaders. But I'm going to be very intrigued to see how these guys get around Lightning again. Looks like the inside will find the way to the inside of Lightning. But that outside lane, Troxel going to get held up just a little bit. Keegan Thompson, those guys just have nowhere to go now as that inside lane is coming fast on the 38.
You know, with Andrew Miller and Tristan Allen, I feel like it would be like Kukulon. They have enough speed, and they're going to get to them, and they're going to get into the draft.
McMillan trying to get to the inside of Patrick Smith. And now both lines getting held up by Miller and Allen. Gonna have to see if they actually pick him up or they try to get around him here. But McMillan side by side with Patrick Smith for the race lead. Fitzwater and his teammate Diego Yepez right behind him. Davidson, Semedo, all these guys are going to catch back up to the race leaders as they're still stuck behind Miller and Allen. Now Fitzwater not going to waste any time. I don't think Yepez is going to waste any time. 4 wide for the race lead at Talladega. They got to be careful through the corner here. What a move by Diego Yepez, and now Smith's going to fall back. And this is going to be an edgy situation off of turn number 4 right here. You got Kukulon, you got Semedo and Sill. They're going to keep it together.
I give these guys credit.
McMillan is still up there, though. They're still going to be 4 wide, and this one's looking like it could result in an accident. Here we go! There goes Cody Sill, Ace Garcia, and back through the field, a hard wreck! Fitzwater, McMillan, Tristan Allen involved, more contact, farther up ahead. Rowe with a lot of damage, and they're sliding in. The second pack came in on them. Ace Garcia is upside down. Eli Bright, McMillan is junk, and a lot of drivers are junk after that one.
It's the big one. That's no way that is not the big one. Huge accident off of in the apex of turns 1 and 2. 66 destroyed.
Gonna race back to the line, which is going to be won by Mark Davidson in the 97. Got so excited, got caught up in that accident, and you forget that there's actually a race still going on there. It will be Davidson who wins the race back with Yepez, Alonso, John Arndt, and Shane Lake. Very few guys got out of that one. Keegan Thompson, Matt Daly got out of it. Stapling got out of it. Troxel, Sierra, Henderson, Whitlock. Sam Adio had a bit of it, but I think he's fine for the most part. Alexander O got rear-ended. He didn't hit the wall, but he got rear-ended by somebody. My, oh my, that one was a wild one, and that second pack that was behind the lead pack came barreling into that one. Guys, what do we like to call that?
The big one.
Arca Brakes. 1 point for you, Justin. Fisher G is destroyed. I believe he was in that second pack. Kukulon, who was 7 laps down at the time with heavy damage, and yikes.
Oh.
That's a hard one for Miller, who was also a lap down. Dale Lightning, Nathan Faden, all those guys were involved, but then Downey involved. Eli Bright, Wyatt Quayle, McMillan. See who else is involved. Ace Garcia, and this is where it started. Garcia, Trey Bartow, Garlington, Ashland Boyd, Cody Sill, Fitzwater, Durrani, Allen, and Bradley Ream, all going to be out of the race after this big wreck here at Talladega. Yeah, and it all started with Cody Sill and Ace Garcia, and they were 4 wide, and they didn't do a traditional wreck where they go to the right. They went to the left. But you can go to the left, but if you keep on going straight, the track's going to come back at you, and that's exactly what happened. More guys. Iquan Haslam, Sam and Oskin, Nathan Baird, and Fisher G, and my goodness, it's just a massive, massive wreck here at Talladega. Let's see what happened to bring out the second caution of the day here in the Mountain Dew Kickstart 500. Cody Sill and Ace Garcia getting into each other and then coming back up the racetrack, causing a massive accident in turn 1. Well, 4 wide, it's not something we haven't seen before, but Cody Sill and Ace Garcia got hooked together, and they couldn't figure it out, and I knew this was going to be bad when they turned to the left there. And sometimes you have 1 car and they clear the field, but we had 2. LJ Semedo, nowhere to go. Fitzwater, nowhere to go. Miller, Allen, and Kukulon were already a lap down. Patrick Smith caught up. McMillan, nowhere to go either. Sam Adio and Nicolay Sykes did a good job, but right here, you're going to see Wyatt Quayle run right into the back of Alexander Rowe. And that's just the first part of this accident. You got Brad Stover in the 99. Right there. It starts with Bradley Ream, Gatlin Downey, Silas Orta, Trey Bartow, Ashlyn Boyd, Cameron Garlington. They just keep on piling in. Ryan Durrani back in there. Nathan Faden. Eli Bright. Ace Garcia went flipping. Tristan Allen went upside down. LJ Semedo almost went upside down. I mean, this was a long accident. It took through the entirety of 1 and 2. But so many guys who had a shot at winning. Fitzwater and McMillan especially. Those were 2 guys who were really running strong in this race. Both out of the race after this unfortunate accident in the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500 at Talladega.
Following along from TB2, Garcia and Sill. Hello, right backs, clean house on the track. And then you see Wyatt Quayle, Arca and everybody else. Garcia goes spinning like a top. Andrew Miller almost goes upside down. Garcia upside down. Allen goes barrel rolling. You're going to see Faden come through here. Oh my goodness. That was probably one of the biggest crashes I've seen on Napa Fan. And I've watched a lot of races on here, but holy smokes. I've never seen 2 cars clean house just like that. And that changes the entire complexity of the race. We're probably going to have like a good 10 or 15 cars left without damage, but holy smokes, what a wreck.
I'm going to replay it a couple more times, do an onboard for you. That one was one for the ages.
So in helicopter view, Cody Sill, Ace Garcia, they collide, they go down, and then they come right back up, causes everyone to get involved, and then the second pack just keeps piling in, a lot of big hits. You got Tristan Allen flipping, you got Ace Garcia flipping, and just keeps going and going through both turns 1 and 2. Definitely one of the biggest wrecks on Napa Fan history.
Gonna go on board, Cody Sill in the 37. Hold on tight.
Careful to right back up the racetrack, and then you can see the dauntingness of the second pack about to railroad him right there. Spinning
Right there.
Oh my goodness.
You dizzy yet? On board the 81 of Ace Garcia here, and from that angle, almost looks like Cody Sill spun into him. And initially, it wasn't too bad for Garcia. Just pushed up into it, didn't hit the wall, but then right there, Bradley Reed.
Ooh.
Then
Ooh, boy.
and go upside down.
Hit by Fisher G.
And the camera went out.
Lands on him.
We're going to do one more on board. John Arndt. This one is going to be fun. Our last on board, the 05 of John Arndt.
Coming up. Whoa. Woo.
That is some great driving right there.
And everybody
everything break loose behind him, but he is still in this race. He could get his 22nd career Napa Fan win here today. We'll have to see. Let's get to the restart here in the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500 from Talladega. Mark Davison, your race leader. Just about 10 laps to go. Down the back stretch, ready to take the green flag here at Talladega with exactly 10 laps to go in the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500. And before we get to who's still in the race, I want to mention who's out of the race, and quite a few drivers out of this race. That wreck cleared half of the field, essentially. Don't see Nathan Baird on the racetrack. I'd imagine he's out. You see these guys in the back, Ikwan Hasm, Salmon Ozkin, and Fisher G. They have a lot of damage, and they actually do appear to be coming down the pit lane. So with that, we're starting with the 16 of Nathan Baird. He's out. Fitzwater is out. Semedo out. Sill out. Garcia out. McMillan out. Quayle out. Ream out. Downey out. Bright out. Bartow out. Garlington out. Durrani out. Stover out. Miller out. Allen out. Boyd out. Faden out. Lightning out. And then Kukulon out. All those guys got knocked out in that one wreck. I think Turner might just be thankful he was already knocked out in the race. Either way, Mark Davidson is the new race leader. Diego Pez, Sergio Larvin Alonso, John Arndt, Shane Lake, Keegan Thompson, Matt Dalio, Nathan Stapleton, Brett Sierra, Thomas Troxel, the top 10. And you said it, I think we only have about 15 guys who do not have damage, only about 15 guys who have a shot at winning this race now. Wild stuff here at Talladega, but it's been fun. 10 laps to go, who's gonna win? One of the wildest races we've seen in quite some time.
See Alonso, he immediately He immediately goes up to the high line, and like I said, the entire style of this race has been changed. We're only going to have a pack of like 15 or so cars, so it's going to be a race to the finish. I think it's too small of a pack to possibly get lap traffic. We have 9 laps.
Don't worry, those lap cars, they're going to be pretty darn slow when we come up to it.
Yeah, I mean, the ones that are still on the track and got involved, they're definitely going to play a factor. It will only be like a few laps until we catch up to them.
And you see them, you got Hasm here, you got Fisher G, Sam and Oskin, Alex in a row trying to salvage something. I mean, Rowe was pretty much he pretty much had avoided that accident and just got rear-ended by Wyatt Quayle. Zach Rogers got a piece of that, Stover as well, and Kukulon's still holding on. I actually said Kukulon was out, but he actually still is out there on the racetrack. For the race lead, John Art on the inside of Mark Davidson, Keegan Thompson, and Brett Sierra. These two guys are pretty good buddies. I imagine they're going to help each other out for this win. But we got about, I say, 14 guys in this lead pack from Yepez on up. Any one of these guys has a good shot at winning this race. Here comes Sierra to the inside of Thompson and Davidson. John Art going to be able to clear for now, but Sierra's going to have a run to the inside.
Davidson and Lake, they get abandoned on the top as a couple of O number cars are on the lead. Here comes Troxel the inside, 3 wide for the point position.
Here comes Troxel to the inside. He's going to lead this lap right here. Thomas Troxel's never won before in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He's come close to winning the championship over in the Rockstar Pro Series a couple years ago. But Troxel, a really solid driver, and he's had a lot of success elsewhere in the Chick-fil-A, or on Napa Fin, I should say. And, of course, his brother, Abe Troxel, almost won the championship back in season number 3, so we'll have to see what Thomas could do here. Sam Adeo still in this thing, and remember, Sam Adeo is right in the midst of that whole thing, and he is still out here, and you cannot count on Mr. Edge. Anytime he's in a pack at Talladega, I think he's got a good shot at winning. We'll go 2 in a row at Dega. Nikolai Sykes, Reagan Whitlock. This is a huge opportunity for Whitlock. Allison and Russell going to get a decent finish out of this one, but Whitlock's going to have a good shot at closing in on the points because other than Shane Lake, everyone else in the top 7 points were involved in an accident in some way, shape, or form. So watch out for Whitlock. He could close in on the points at the end of the day. But Troxel holding on. Sam Adeo in second. Lap 32 of 38. Next car in line, Kukulon. They're going to close on them the next couple of laps here.
Yeah, I mentioned about the lap cars. I'm going to tell you about that. I mean, these guys, they're in good shape right now, but once they get to that lap cars, they're going to probably split up unless they make some good moves.
It's going to be wild to see how they react to it, but it is easier for a smaller pack to get away from lap traffic than it is a bigger pack, so hopefully we won't have too much issue, and mainly all these guys can stay in contention until the checkered flag. 6 to go in the Mountain Dew Kickstart 500 for Thomas Troxel in the number 35. Here comes Silas Orta. Oh my!
Oh no!
Contact made. I don't know what he was thinking.
Okay.
Trying to go to the inside, and you see the damage he has to his race car. He might have gotten rear-ended trying to avoid the 13. They avoid an accident, but that really split the pack up, and that's going to change the whole complexion of this race.
Sierra's pretty much done after that contact, trying to make a bold move, but it just did not pay off.
And the number 3 is Silas Orta. You see the damage to the rear deck lid of that machine. That's going to hurt him. Davidson, John Art, Keegan Thompson, Stapleton, Diego Yepez, they all fell behind because of Kukulon there, and there is no reason whatsoever for Kukulon to still be out there 7 laps down. I mean, let me rephrase that. He's gaining his laps back on everybody else who's out of the race. He's actually going to finish midway through the field. I'm wrong about that. He has every right to be out there because he's actually going to get a much better finish than what he initially had going for him if he does stay out and gets his positions back from all the guys who were knocked out from that accident. Meanwhile, there's single file up here. Troxel, Sam Adeo, Whitlock, Henderson, Shane Lake, the only guy up here in this top 7 who has won a race yet this season. And let's not count out these guys, these old-timers. Matt Dalio and Herger Larvin Alonso. Alonso's going to get held up here by Zach Rogers. That's going to end Alonso's chance of winning this race. Shane Lake got really held up there. So did Nikolai Sykes. And then Alexander Rowe getting in the way of those guys. Now it's down to 4 guys in contention. Troxel, Sam Adeo, Whitlock, and Dalio.
You know, even with this, it's not over yet. Because I remember season 7 when Elijah Gordon won, I thought it was over. I didn't think no one was going to make a move, but he made a move on the last lap. So it could still happen. It's a lot harder now, but it could still happen.
Caution's out.
Oh,
that
caution.
might do it.
Oh.
This could be it. This could be for the race win. And Troxel able to hold on
Troxel's
for
got
now.
it.
They're coming to 3 laps to go,
Yeah, he's
and
got
I
it.
do believe this will be for the race victory. Thomas Troxel in the 35 wins the race back to the line with San Mateo, Whitlock, and Dalio. And I'm not sure what happened, but somebody had an issue with Mitchell Henderson and Silas Orta.
Orta. Oh, tough break for those guys. Orta, he was up in the front of this restart, and he got hit while trying to avoid Kukulon, and it just went spiraled downhill from there. So Thomas Troxel, he's definitely in the catbird seat to win this if we do stay under the yellow flag. So unless he has a problem, I think he's going to win.
We'll have to see. It's 3 to go usually under this format, even though it's a 2-lap caution during the race. If it happens to be 3 laps to go, most of the time they will not come back and restart. Not entirely sure how they're going to play it out. It's not guaranteed to be over yet, but Troxel in a really good position to possibly win this race. Let's quickly go ahead and see what happened with Mitchell Henderson and Silas Orta, and then we'll see if Troxel has officially won this race. And you're going to see right here Silas Orta with a massive closing rate on Henderson, who's stuck behind Zach Rogers, and my goodness. It's not a traditional Talladega-style wreck right there, but that's what occurred between those guys. Tough wreck for Henderson. He had a great run going for him. Same with Silas Orta, and they're still both going to get good runs in this race, but not the runs that they were hoping for. That might have been what Thomas Troxel was hoping for, though. Let's go ahead and see if we'll get a restart, and if not, it's most likely going to be Thomas Troxel, the race winner here at Talladega. They've just taken the white flag here at Talladega, which means the race will end. And given that Troxel does not have an issue on this final lap, which is Talladega, we've seen a lot of tire issues here today, Troxel will be your race winner here in the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500. Great win for Troxel. And we'll have to see how this shakes up in the points. San Mateo going to get second. Dalio's a guy who's up there in the points. So is Whitlock. So is Shane Lake. All those guys came into this race top 10 in the points. And they're all going to get good finishes. And they're all going to get good jumps on the rest of the field. I will say this. With Troxel's win right here, he's going to be in the All-Star race a couple weeks from now. So he will not have to be in the Open since he just won this race. If, of course, he officially wins. Want to make sure of that. Never know what could happen in a place like this. But, what a race we had here, and it's kind of unfortunate that this race is ending under caution, but you know what? It might be for the better. It just might be for the better, but what a race, guys, here from Talladega. What are your thoughts on this one so far?
This was a really fun race. A lot of action-packed racing going on, and then you had that very huge crash. Basically, half of the field got taken out, and those lap cars played a big factor at the end. Definitely was a really, really crazy race today.
Yeah, I think this entire race was decided by lap cars because we had the incident on lap 8 that it only took out one guy, Jesse Turner, but we had the other slower cars with damage, and they kept constantly bringing everything around, splitting the pack up, and that's ultimately what caused the calamity of the second incident, the huge one off of turn 1. And then lap cars again, they caused the third and final incident, which will give Troxel the win. Given that he doesn't blow an engine right here, I think Troxel, he's certain to win this race.
I think we're pretty good. Troxel, number 35, Velocita Racing, their second win of the season. That's a good one there for Thomas Troxel. Kept it clean, held the lead, and he's going to get his first career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory here at Talladega.
A great win for Troxel as well. He did a really great job at the end, avoiding those lap cars and able to get this win today, his first career win, and again the All-Star race, a very well-earned win.
So Thomas Troxel, your race winner here from Talladega. Nicholas San Mateo, Reagan Whitlock, Matt Dalio, and Shane Lake, the top 5. Great run for Alonso. I think Alonso would have had a shot if he didn't get held up by one of the lap cars there. Brett Sear, Nikolai Sykes, Keegan Thompson, and John Arndt. That might just be the first top 10 John Arndt's had all season. It's been a tough start to the season for John Arndt. Stapleton kind of fell back. He was in that lead pack. Very quiet all day. Mark Davidson, who actually led on the restart there, on the last restart. And then Yepes, who was actually second. They both finished 12th and 13th. And saw Silas Orta and Mitchell Henderson get caught up in that accident there. Patrick Smith, Iquan Haslam, Sam Adoskin, and Fisher G. They were going to go a lap down, but they managed to finish on the lead lap. Alexander Rowe, 20th. All things considered, a pretty good run for him. Zach Rogers, who pretty much was the cause of that last accident. And Brad Stover and Kukulon both had their tire issues. And then that. Everybody, except for Jesse Turner, who's knocked out of this race all were knocked out in that one big accident we had around lap 23. Actually, no, it was about lap 25, I do believe. Oh boy, that one was wild, and that might be why we only come to Talladega once a year now in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. But guys, it was a great race, well worth it, and thank you guys so much for joining me. Thomas Troxel, you're a race winner here in the Mtn Dew Kickstart 500. So let's see how this shakes up the points. Our points leader getting 20th. Bradley Rim getting knocked out of the race, so he's not going to get a good points day. But Whitlock, Shane Lake, Matt Dalio, a few guys who are top 10 in points, getting good runs, and they'll move their way through the field. We're now halfway through the regular season, so only 10 races left until the chase begins. The top 10 drivers in points plus 2 wild cards, the 2 drivers with victories outside the top 10 who have the most points. It'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Here are the point standings for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series after 10 races. And on behalf of Justin Zeidel and Trey Wright, congratulations to Thomas Troxel. We'll see you next week for the Mr. Goodbar 400 from Dover, noon Eastern Time, right here on Napa Fan. I will see you guys later.